Watch Hodgson. He just turns in and aims for the corner. Now, he did that in race 1 in exactly the same place on the last lap. The only difference there was that Chris Walker was on the outside of him in race 1, where he was under him here in race 2. And those two, really, for me, 6 of one and a half does the other. Walker tips in, doesn't get anywhere. We take another look at it now. Walker is coming out while Hodgson is coming in. And that really, Hodgson can't see Walker, but Walker is already committed to what he's done at that speed. The remarkable thing about that is both of them stayed on, because I wouldn't have thought that possible.
And Hodgson got across the line for 4th place, and Chris Walker, as you can see, mounted, got 14th.
2 points then for Chris Walker, only after all that effort. You might think there is no justice. This man, though, will be quite happy with what happened in front of him. John Reynolds, easily the winner in the end. Class ride from John Reynolds, but he thought he was only on for 3rd place. James Hayden gets 2nd, Neil Mackenzie 3rd, Neil Hodgson eventually 4th, Hizzy, Toseland, Plater and Crawford are your top 8. Peter Goddard gets 9th place, Shaky Byrne, another consistent position for him in 10th, Michael Rudder 11th, Chris Walker confirmed in 14th, John Crockford, the leading privateer.
Well, James, you've come in 2nd, congratulations. What drama in front of you?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I got held up for a long part of the race, and as soon as I was clear, I just closed on the front 2. And then Neil came past. I didn't realise he was so close, and I was just setting it up to go on the next 2, and then it was like a 4. And then it was just, everyone was all over the place. I mean, it was hard stuff. And then I slipped up the inside of John over, just coming for the far side, Knickerbrook, and then he came past, slammed the nose off. I thought, that's it. And then, I thought we'll just keep it cool because someone might run on in this corner. And 2 of them did, and I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, it's nice, It's nice to sort of keep plugging away and get the result in the end. I mean, it's a bit gifted, but hey, I'll take it any way it wants.
I half expected it, the last lap. It's always the same going into Lodge there for the last lap. I could see that Neil wanted to win. And they hit each other, and it's as simple as that. I just took I took the win, and I'll say thank you very much. I kept out of trouble, and great.
I'm sure you were hanging back in there in Chris's slipstream for a long time. You made a move on it. He wasn't having any of it, was he?
No, I went on the inside of him going around the fast left at the top of the hill there, and I was too quick. I couldn't make the turn, and he came underneath me again. I think the pace slightly slowed 3/4 of the way through the race, and I needed to get past Chris. And then Neil Hodgson came past me. I thought, oh my God. And then James came past me on the last lap, and I just couldn't hack that. So we had a bit of a fairing bashing going up the hill. I apologise to James for that, but I'm sure he'll understand.
John Reynolds goes to the top of the podium and back to the top of the championship. Is he happy? He certainly is. One man that might not be, though, is Chris Walker.
Well, Chris, that one did get to boiling point. Give us your take quickly on what happened out there.
Well, I don't, to be fair, know exactly what happened. I went the last lap, I saw Neil, and he ran wide. I got back up the inside of him and stuff. At the Shallows hairpin, he had to lift up out of the way, and it was kind of getting down. I knew the last corner, well, sort of the last corner was going to be the do-or-die manoeuvre for him. And I defended my line just like he did in the first race, went right down the inside. Unfortunately, when I braked, Neil came straight alongside of me and then just started to turn into the corner. And whether he knew or not or whatever, I was still right there, and obviously we collided, and I kind of ended up on top of the bike and straight on into the gravel. So
it's a racing incident. We both want to win so much. We're both riding as well as we've ever ridden. We're on top of our form. I have the utmost respect for Chris as a rider, and he came down to the last corner. He braked a little bit early on the inside. I braked a little bit later on the outside, and thought I'd try and defend my line then, because I could see that I was in the lead, so I came across. I don't know if Chris let his brake off or what happened, but I felt him rub my leg, and that was it. Then I was a passenger on the bike. The bike and him pushed me off right off the track. So it is racing. It's been a great season so far, and like you said, it's always going to happen eventually. But it's a shame because, like Chris said to me, it's a shame because we should have both had 1 and 2, but we both wanted to win just as bad as each other.
The problem with that particular incident is that, having spoken to Chris and a couple of the people working at the corner, the circuit officials at that corner, that the general consensus seems to be that it was a premeditated and deliberate manoeuvre rather than a genuine racing incident, and for that reason we've made a protest regarding it.
How does Chris feel about it at the moment?
He deserved at worst 20 points for second place for that race, and most likely really deserved to win the race and score 25 points and put himself right back in the contention for winning this British Superbike Championship. And now he's been shoved into the fence. He got a 14th and 2 points, and we're a long way off Reynolds, who was gifted the win.
So not just a tussle out on the track. Paul Denning launched a protest soon after the race. So if If you were an official with no experience of racing at this level on the track, how would you judge it? This is part 1 of the coming together. This is part 2. Clearly a difficult decision for the officials. How would you have judged it? Here's how they dealt with it. John Reynolds, the winner from James Hayden and Neil Mackenzie. Where is Neil Hodgson? Right the way down in 14th place. Chris Walker did indeed finish in front of Hodgson. Neither will be happy with 13th and 14th. So a controversial end to the day, and this is how the championship looks after 8 races. Reynolds on top again by 20 points now from Neil Hodgson. Hayden 3rd, Walker 4th, Hislop 5th. Plater, Mackenzie and Toseland complete the top 8. And after all that, it's almost easy to overlook the privateers, but we shouldn't. John Crockford has extended his lead in the series over Davey Wood, who's now up into 2nd place, courtesy of Gordon Blackley crashing out in the race on his Kawasaki. David Hill, well, he had a good ride today as well. He's down in 5th place, though, in the series. Man of the 2nd race, John Reynolds, celebrates in style, and you can see more of that here on Full Throttle. Alton Park will be on Wednesday the 31st of May at 10:30 p.m. for all the support classes. And round 5, Superbike races 1 and 2 and the Super Sports will be from Snetterton on the 28th of June. That's at 10 p.m. And we are live with the British Superbike Series from Silverstone on Sunday the 2nd of July. Between 1 and 3 p.m. we're on Sky Sports 1. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. rounds it up on Sky Sports 3.
At the start of the show, Lodge Corner was where we predicted all the action would happen. Sure enough, it did. Claire, I've got no voice left. You're going to have to finish this programme.
It certainly did. There were fireworks between those two today, but it reached boiling point. Interestingly, both of them very cool about the whole incident afterwards.
We'll see what happens at Snetterton next time out. Bye for now.
See you then.